Okay, so in this video, we're going to take a look at an R notebook in Google Colab. So just double click, I'm on the Vinegar Hill Data Labs website, and we're using Titanic Tidyverse. So if we double click on the icon, the Google Colab icon, it opens up. Now we will run each of these on this machine separately so that we can trace through the effect of each line of code, right? So the starting point would be we need to activate R in Google Colab. So we execute this command. That just takes a second. It's quite fast. Typically you need, let's just see it, if you haven't already installed Tidyverse on into Google Colab, then you need to install. So maybe I'll just do the full installation and then make it available using library Tidyverse. And once we've run through that installation and made it available, we need the data from Titanic. And we're going to use the PASWR dataset available in one of the packages in R. And it's the Titanic tree dataset. So take a quick look at the Titanic dataset and we can see the arrangement. There's 14 variables, and then their categorization in terms of what type of variable they are. We're going to transform the survival to a factor, so it's no longer an integer, so that we use mutate for that. That's part of the dplyr syntax. Then we take a quick look at Titanic 4. You can see we've converted this 5 to a factor. And then ultimately, the question we're going to pose here is, what is the effect of family size on survivorship? That's a little bit tricky, and it may not be a completely linear relationship. Now we could use the dplyr syntax, but I've used the syntax that's proposed, that David Langer uses in his development of the Titanic dataset, and I've left a link above to David Langer's GitHub, so do take a look at that. So basically, we take the siblings and spouses, we add it to the parents and the children, and we include the same individual, and that would give the family size of any particular passenger. So what we want to do is create a new column, right? We have here glimpse 4, right? And we have 14 variables. We want to create a brand new variable. I don't want to use transmute, right, or mutate. I'm going to just use base R, and we take the name of the data set, and then we're creating a new variable, family size, which is not here in the Titanic 4, and that is obtained by adding the number of siblings and spouses and the number of parents and children together plus 1, because each individual is 1 on their own. So the number of spouse and sibling, parents and children would give the entire family size. We run that, and then we take a glimpse, and we should have then 15 columns, and we now have a new family size. So just to compare like against like, before we had 14 columns, now we have 15, and we have family size, which we didn't have before, okay? And then we just want to see, we want to graph the survivorship against in a series of histograms, and we will break the histograms apart for sex and for class. So let's just execute. ggplot's very powerful in terms of visualization, and we can see that the smaller family size, I mean, if you're first class female, you're surviving sort of anyway, but it would appear that in first class there wasn't big families. Then in second class, something similar. We don't have big families. But in third class, we do have big families. And if you look at the numbers here, they basically, if you were part of a larger family, and although few, right, if you're part of a larger family, your chances of survival weren't that good. If the family size was relatively small, chances could still be quite good. But if it's a bigger family, the extreme, if you look at the more extreme values here in terms of family size, not that encouraging in terms of your prospects of survival. And again, to rationalize this, the numbers are few, but we can imagine that with a larger family size, who could you pick to put on the lifeboat? And perhaps it was difficult to get all the children together, get all the family together, organize them, and get to the lifeboat. And rather than let a few survive, maybe there was instances, there's definitely anecdotage of some of the family members preferring to drown together than maybe just saving a few. So the larger family size then became a sort of obstacle to getting into lifeboats. And as a consequence, many of those very difficult choices that a mother might have to make, which child would survive, couldn't make. And you can imagine how the larger family size would play against those individuals in that particular regard. Okay, that's it.